There is a command, hidden not because it was lost, but because so few were ready to hear it. It is not written in books, nor spoken in temples. It is etched in the very fabric of your being. The moment you awaken to it, doors will open, chains will fall, and what seemed impossible will bow before your word. The hidden command is not out there. It waits within you, unclaimed, unspoken. But all-powerful, there is an invisible law at work in every life, a law so exact and unbending that not even the smallest detail escapes its grasp. Most people drift through existence believing that circumstances arrive by accident, that fortune smiles on some and frowns on others without reason. But the truth is far more powerful, and far more liberating. The world bends to the silent word you carry. It is not the outer cry of the lips that holds dominion, but the inner decree, the unspoken word that lingers in the secret chambers of thought. Every belief you entertain, every phrase you repeat in the silence of your heart, is a command given to life itself. And life, ever faithful, answers without hesitation. Think for a moment of the person who continually speaks of lack, of fear, of limitation. Their outer speech is only a reflection of a deeper inner command, one that declares, there is not enough. And so the law obeys. Lack marches forward, fear multiplies, limitation surrounds them. The world is not cruel in its response, it is simply obedient, for life can do nothing but echo the word it has been given. The command is hidden not because it cannot be known, but because so few recognize the weight of their own thought. Now, consider another who walks with certainty, who speaks abundance into the silence. Though the outer conditions may show no sign of wealth, their hidden command declares, I am supplied. I am guided. I am free. And life, bound by its eternal law, shapes itself to fulfill that decree. Opportunities arrive in unexpected ways, doors open that once seemed sealed, and what was once called impossible bends before the word of faith. For every command spoken within the heart is a seed planted, and no seed can remain barren. You are never without power, for you are never without a word. Even in silence you command, even in stillness, the decree is given. The only question is, what word do you choose to send forth? Will you speak limitation and watch it rise before you, or will you dare to speak freedom and see the chains dissolve? The choice is ever yours, for the hidden command lies not in fate, not in the stars, not in the hands of another. It lies in the thought you accept and the word you release. And so I tell you this simple truth, speak abundance, and abundance runs to meet you. What you set in motion within the unseen is destined to appear in the seen. Life is not governed by chance, nor by the fickle movements of the world around you, and every circumstance is first conceived in the invisible realm before it shows itself in the visible. The thoughts you nurture, the feelings you dwell upon, the words you repeat in the privacy of your heart, all these form the hidden command that shapes your days. Nothing comes to you uninvited, nothing manifests without a seed, and that seed is always sown in thought. Picture a seed placed into the soil. It rests unseen beneath the earth, quietly drawing upon hidden forces, preparing itself to break through into the light. For a season, nothing seems to happen. One might grow impatient, doubting that anything is taking place. But beneath the surface, the seed obeys the law of growth. In due time, it presses upward and appears as fruit for all to see. So it is with the hidden command. You may not see its effect immediately. Yet life is already working, aligning circumstances, arranging details, summoning resources, and preparing the way for your command to bloom into form. Many look upon their outer world and think it is reality, but the true reality lies behind the curtain, where thought and word create patterns that must eventually unfold. If you command with fear, your life will mirror that fear. If you command with faith, your life must reflect that faith. There is no partial obedience, no hesitation in the law. It answers every decree, faithfully and fully, whether you are aware of what you have commanded or not. Consider the one who continually dwells upon failure. Though their lips may speak of success, their hidden command declares defeat. And so failure appears, dressed in many disguises, faithfully obeying the unspoken order. Yet another dares to envision victory, to hold steadfastly to the image of triumph even in the face of delay. Though all evidence may deny it, their hidden command rings louder than circumstance, and life, compelled to obey, shapes itself into victory. You are never without a harvest, for you are never without a seed. The question is not whether the law is working. The question is, what are you commanding it to bring forth? You cannot plant thorns and reap roses, nor can you plant fear and reap peace. The outer world must mirror the inner command. So I tell you this, what you command in the unseen must, without fail, appear in the seen. Many wonder why their prayers seem to fall upon deaf ears, why the words they speak in longing bring no reply, and why their requests seem unanswered. But prayer is not only the spoken petition, it is the vibration of the heart, the hidden command behind the words. The lips may ask for one thing, but the soul may declare another, and it is always the hidden command that life obeys. You may say, "I am healed." Yet if within you there still lingers the conviction of sickness, it is sickness that answers. You may cry, "I am provided for." Yet if your heart trembles with fear of lack, it is lack that multiplies before you. Life does not yield to empty words, it bends to the decree concealed beneath them. This is why so many grow weary, believing themselves unheard. They repeat words without aligning them with the force of faith. The outer voice asks, but the inner voice contradicts. And the law cannot be deceived. The universe listens only to the true command, the command that rises not from the lips, but from the certainty of the spirit. Faith is the language the law understands. Where there is no faith, the prayer is but an echo. Yet, when the heart and the word move in harmony, the command becomes irresistible. It is not shouted into the heavens, nor begged upon the earth, but spoken calmly, firmly, as one who knows the authority given to them. A single decree born of faith carries more weight than 1,000 pleas wrapped in doubt. For faith does not plead, it commands. Faith does not wonder, it knows. Think of the one who asks timidly, who begs with hesitation. Their words scatter like chaff in the wind, carrying no power. But think of the one who speaks with inner certainty, whose hidden command declares, "It is done." Life rushes to answer them, for it has no choice but to obey the unwavering word. Their prayer is not a hope, it is a decree. And so the heavens move, the earth responds, and what was unseen becomes seen. The true secret is not in many words, but in alignment. Align your outer prayer with your inner command, and you will see that nothing is withheld from you. So I tell you this, the universe does not answer the prayer. It answers the hidden command behind it. It is often believed that power lies in the loudness of words, in the repeated affirmations spoken over and over, as though life requires volume to hear. But the greatest commands are not always declared with the tongue, they are whispered in silence, and it is that silence which holds the loudest decrees. For what you accept in the secret places of your mind becomes the very foundation upon which your life is built. You may never speak it aloud, yet it governs every step, every encounter, every outcome. The hidden command does not need to be shouted, because it is not heard by human ears. It is received by the unseen forces that shape your world. A thought entertained long enough becomes a law unto itself. An idea silently nourished will outgrow every spoken denial. This is why many who seem quiet, who rarely declare their desires openly, still live lives of extraordinary fulfillment. It is not because they spoke more than others, but because their silence agreed with truth. Think of someone who outwardly declares joy, yet inwardly carries sorrow as their companion. Their lips say one thing, but their silence holds another, and it is the silence that commands. Life listens not to the fleeting sound of words spoken without conviction, but to the steady, persistent decree held within. The unspoken belief, the quiet acceptance, outweighs the loudest speech. And so, if you wish to know what you are commanding, do not look at what you say when others are listening. Look at what you believe when you are alone. The silence is a mirror, and it reveals what you truly accept as your portion. If, in silence, you feel unworthy, then unworthiness becomes your decree. If, in silence, you see yourself as lacking, then lack becomes your companion. But if in silence, you rest in abundance, if you silently see yourself whole, guided, and free, then this unseen command is answered with certainty. Words may deceive others, but they cannot deceive the law. The law obeys the decree you carry in the stillness of your being. Therefore, your task is not to endlessly repeat words, but to align your inner silence with the truth you desire to see. When your silence speaks faith, it needs no sound. And so I tell you this often, it is not what you say aloud, but what you accept in silence, that gives the greatest order to life. The moment a true command is given, it is already fulfilled. The law does not hesitate, nor does it waver. It does not weigh possibilities, nor does it ask if you are worthy. The instant your word is spoken with certainty, the unseen forces of life set themselves in motion to bring it into form. The only thief that enters is doubt, for doubt unravels what faith has already established. Doubt halts the current, interrupts the flow, and convinces the mind to see delay where only completion exists. When you give a decree with unwavering faith, it is sealed. Life has no option but to obey, for obedience is the nature of the law. The delay you perceive is not in life's response, but in your recognition of its fulfillment. Too often, one gives the command, then immediately questions it, as though the seed could be planted in the soil and uprooted the next moment to see if it has begun to grow. Every time you question, You dig up the very seed you hope to harvest. But when you speak as one who knows, the seed is left undisturbed, the soil protects it, and the harvest is certain. Think of the difference between the beggar and the ruler. The beggar pleads, uncertain if the request will be granted, always watching and waiting for a sign. The ruler, however, gives the command once and knows it is done. They do not ask, they decree. They do not return in anxiety to see if their word is being carried out. They rest, because they know the law obeys. You are meant to speak as the ruler, not as the beggar. When you speak with authority, life moves at once. The right people are drawn, the right doors open, the right conditions appear, not because you forced them, but because the word already carried the power to summon them. To doubt after you have spoken is to send two opposing commands, and the law, being faithful, attempts to obey both, creating confusion in your path. But a clear word, given once and held in faith, cannot fail, so let your decree be firm. Speak as one who knows the law, not as one who hopes for mercy. For the hidden command is never delayed, it is already obeyed. The great mistake of many is to believe that power lies outside themselves, that someone else must speak the word for them, that fate, or fortune, or even the favor of another must decide their path. But the hidden command is not given from without, it rises from within. You are the source of the command. You carry within you the spark of the divine, the authority that shapes worlds, the word that no other voice can silence. It is not borrowed, it is not granted by men, and it cannot be taken from you. It is yours by right of being. Look closely and you will see that every door which seemed locked was never truly barred. The key was always in your hand, but you had to recognize it. Life is not waiting to permit you, it is waiting to obey you. Every moment you delay in claiming this truth, you wander as one who forgets their own inheritance. The treasure is not hidden in the stars, nor buried in distant lands. It is written in your very nature. The hidden command is not taught to you by another, it is remembered by you when you awaken to who you truly are. So long as you believe the command lies outside, you remain a servant to conditions. You wait for signs, you depend upon circumstances, you plead with life as though it were withholding something from you. But the instant you recognize that the authority was within you all along, you cease begging and begin decreeing. You stop chasing, and life begins moving toward you. The outer world bends because the inner world has spoken with certainty. This is why two people can walk through the same door and see entirely different outcomes. One enters as though powerless, and the door leads them only to more struggle. The other enters knowing their command has already gone before them, and the same door opens into opportunity. The difference is not in the door, but in the consciousness that walked through it. The command is always yours, but only when you claim it does it reveal its force. You were never meant to live in chains, nor to bow before chance. You were meant to speak the word that unlocks, to give the decree that parts the way, to awaken to the power already entrusted to you. So I tell you this, the hidden command is not outside you. It has always been within you, waiting for you to claim it.